You guys are good to go. You have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir, Coach.
See you guys. Don't eat my cheesesteak.
Go ahead.
Mike, this is a big one for you guys, obviously. You know, a good crowd back there. You're back to over 500 on the season, 2-2 overall Big Ten play. Do you think this is where the season can turn around for you guys, especially with the next upcoming games? You have Northwestern, Purdue as well.
You always hope a win like this and the excitement of the win can propel you, but you also got to be cautiously optimistic, without a doubt, because we still got to get better. You saw the beginning of the game, like we have too many moments where we just, I'm not gonna say shoot ourselves in the foot. We just have too many moments where it's a bad play, it's a miscommunication, letting a guy wide open. We're growing as a team, and I'm to be honest with you, what I'm most proud about today is the response from the other night. I mean, we got shellacked. Let's call it as it is, and we could have made every excuse and still been bummed out, and had that loss beat us twice. And we found something, especially late in the first half and the second half, that all right, there's some signs of this team that we're capable of doing some things. So it doesn't guarantee you're going to win the next game, but let's see if we can build on this.
Any hangover in the first half here from that, or not necessarily?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't think there was hangover. I mean, we had some wide open threes to start the game. We got to make them. That gives you momentum, and that was, we're not making enough open threes this year, and I thought we would. I really did.
What do you think the guys thought of this place? It's so different from what they usually play.
You and I know about this. These guys don't.
Yeah.
They know a little bit more about the Garden or the United Center, because that's what they don't watch games at the Palestra or go to games in the Palestra like we did growing up. So you try to give them the lesson of everybody that's played in here, Kobe and Dr. J, and you got like all the you throw names at them. That's and then I explain to them that when they walk in this, it's one of the oldest basketball arenas in the world. And you're going to get to put a uniform on and play a college basketball game in it.
Did you pay attention to them when they were
Well, when we came in earlier, they're like, yeah, what is this, coach? You know what I mean? And
did they really say that?
Yeah. So I don't know who one was like, what? This is the Palestra? They didn't know. They don't know, and that's the history lesson. And it's the same thing when we went to the Garden. Like, we gave them a little bit of a history lesson. And I wish we could grab an hour and a half and walk the concourse and show them all those pictures, and they would know even more people on there. But now, in their basketball life now, that's the bucket list. That I played in the Palestra. They can tell their kids and their grandkids someday we beat Michigan in the Palestra.
Mark.
At Penn State. That's pretty cool.
Mike, Penn State's had the good fortune to play some of these break games down here at the Palestra. How important is it to keep that going, moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's really important. One thing when I took the job, I think I used the term out of the box thinking with our program. I want to do that. In our first year, we got in the Garden. We want to always play down here in the Philly area if we can. I think there's other places in Pennsylvania and the Middle Atlantic region that I think we can play and go to our fans. I think it's a lot of fun. I want to play in Hershey, Lehigh Valley. I'll go play out in Pittsburgh, but there's, playing, getting to New York and, maybe even down to DC, I think is really cool. We have the biggest alumni network in the world, and that's really cool. Let's use that. Let's think out of the box and how can we go to them? And I think that's really important. And one thing that I want to do everywhere we go on the road, we want to invite our alumni and meet our alumni and get them on our wagon, the basketball wagon. It takes time and it doesn't happen overnight, but this is an example of what could be really cool because of our alumni network.
I did mean here particularly, though, because this is a different atmosphere for you than the Garden. I mean, with all due respect to the Garden, this is, all these crazy...
No, without a doubt. I mean, it was a home game. It was a sold-out home game. And everybody's in white.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't we? I mean, I don't think they'll let us do it 10 times, but if we can do it more than once, I'm all for it. But over break, I think is a great time to do it. Gets our guys off campus. I just think it's really cool for our program and to show off Penn State and Penn State basketball.
3 more, Mike, Nate, Dave.
Mike, I thought in the first half you got a lot of the disruption that you want to get from your defense. You just didn't turn it into points because they
Correct,
throw in the
yeah.
ocean. So was this close to was this as close as happened this year?
Yes.
To what you want to be defensively?
This was the cumulative effect of our defense today. And we got turnovers, we pressed them, we caused some problems, we didn't get points out of it. But if we stuck with it, I felt cumulative effect is going to take hold, and it did. And then you saw in the last 10 minutes of the game, we had some turnovers that led to baskets.
Yeah.
And I also think they took a couple quick shots at the end of the press. They made a three. You know, sometimes you want them to make their first three at the end of the press early in the game. And then they start missing them. We called it a shooting turnover. We rebounded, a clean rebound and go, and I thought we had a couple of them as well. I thought Kanye and Ace's disruption on the ball, even when we didn't get steals, was huge impact in the game.
Hey,
This probably piggybacks on that a little bit, but it felt like 50-50 balls went in your favor a pretty good amount, particularly in the second half.
Yeah, we've been really working on rebounding and eating the basketball is the term, because we've gotten killed on the glass this year. And, you know, we got out rebounded, but I thought we got some big rebounds today and some loose balls. So we have to have an overachieving spirit this year. I don't think we always have that. And we have to get loose balls. We got to come up with a one-on-one weak side rebound. We got to get a point guard in there and rip a rebound and draw a foul, you know, stuff like that. And we got a couple of those today. We got on the floor, created some jump balls, and we have to. That's that overachieving mentality we have to have. That's who we are. Because there's times we're a little bit outmanned, and so how do you overcome that? Hopefully the press, getting deflections, getting turnovers, but then coming up with a 50-50 ball that you don't think we can get, or we didn't get earlier in the year. I think that's huge.
You mentioned that this was your first time coaching the game here at the Palestra.
Yeah.
What would you say was your overall experience about it, and you want to try to make this a yearly event, play some of the other Philly teams down here?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll play anybody anywhere. If it's in the Palestra, even better. That's cool. So, yeah, it would be great. I think, you know, being down this way for so many reasons. Players on the team, recruiting, our fans are here. But look, I don't know if you know this, but my grandfather played at Villanova, like late 20s, early 30s. He played in the Palestra. I got to coach Penn State in my home state and beat Michigan in the Palestra. Come on, man. Pretty cool. And so that's the fun of that stuff. So, yeah. But it's one game. It's a cool game. We got to win. I got to coach a team in the Palestra. It's pretty cool down and get on the bus and cheesesteak back to the snow. I'm all for that. I can't wait to see the snow. I haven't seen it in a while.
thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, guys. Be safe going home.